So the most
Mm.
important thing when it comes to going in new in any industry, any organization, is being this thing called a sponge. You need
Mm.
to keep asking questions. Don't look like, wow, very, wow, got face value and all that. Oh, my colleagues never ask questions. I don't want to look stupid. That's the worst case you can do. You always ask questions all the time because why? You're trying to fill up all the voids. It's like volleyball. Hey, why must you do this? What can we do when they spike and all that? So you're always asking. There's always a void that you're trying to fill up, fill up, fill up. And every time you fill up, guess what happens? You get more and more confidence because your mind don't need to think so much. It's straight away there already. That's why it becomes muscle memory. At Sec 4 when you're playing, you don't need to figure out anything. You know what's going to happen. So asking question helps you to create that idea of filling up the voids that you have. And in 1-2 years time, if you ask many, many questions, right, that void, that mapping in your mind is going to look very, very different from where you started. But don't be
Mm.
afraid because of face value to ask a stupid question. Change the mindset that you have. There's no such thing as a stupid question. There's only curious questions. That's it. But be
Mm.
wise about it. Sometimes your question can
Of
be
course.
very long, and then some people will be like, hey, why is Melinda asking that question? Right? So sometimes understand when to ask that question. If everybody's damn
Mm.
busy and all that, and you ask one, hey, can I learn something? Wow, everybody explode at you, man. So try to
Mm.
find ways and don't only think that you can only ask your boss, always ask your team members who are around
Mm.
and be very respectful because you're taking their time. But the
Yes.
best thing about it is that when you are so sincere and thankful about them sharing with you to fill up those voids, they will want to help you even more, right?
Mm.
So don't be an ass to say that, wow, ask, then never say thank you. Well, always be appreciative of people. So that's number one. Always asking questions, always asking as
Mm.
much as possible. And feedback, coming back to the first one, if you ask too many questions, some people might be irritated.
Yes.
So you need to figure out, of the 5 team members, Sally and Joe are
Mm.
good at answering my questions and they feel okay because we have a relationship. John and Eric, however, are so senior to a point where they feel that they almost put you in intern level and you're wasting my time. So also know, try to gauge who are those people you can actually go to, who are those people you go to if it's something a bit more high level or a bit more serious or a bit more like, wow, okay, this one really must ask John because he's really good at that. Make sense?
Yes.
So that's the first part, asking a lot of questions and all that. The second part, ask opportunities. See, at the start, right, if you don't know anything in volleyball, you need to be doing everything. Everything.
Yes.
Everything possible. So, for example, cleaning the ball, for example, doing the stores and all that. When you do everything, you start to know a lot of things. You start to know that, hey, it's 15 minutes to do this. I assume it took 1 hour. So when somebody tells you, hey, it took 1 hour for me, that's total BS. So the
Mm.
more opportunities you ask for, the more you're able to feel that learning. Not just here,
Mm.
but you actually do it. So when you're doing it, so same thing. I can give you textbook and textbook about riding a bicycle, doesn't work. Cool? So it's really about
Mm.
asking questions and asking opportunities. And when you ask opportunities, imagine this, right? If your plate is now 9 upon 10, you're full already. If you ask opportunities, what happens?
Maybe even more. More on the
10
plate.
upon 10, 11, 12.
Mm.
So you need to be able to go through that. And if you want to learn the best and you want to be the best in your industry, climb as fast as possible, you need to not be afraid of going 15 upon 10. Go shit face crazy. That means ask a lot, and you're the only person who's like, wow,
Mm.
actually, everything Melinda is willing to do, Melinda is willing to go for it. Yes, it looks like people are going to take advantage of you. That's okay. Why? Because you're learning. It is
Yeah.
worth it if you're learning